when I came to, I was like you, I was bubbly and outgoing but I started hanging around people that was from Washington, D.C. That's when I actually learned to speak my mind. So when I got back home, my family, like, they turned their backs on me. My friends were like, you changed, like, who are you? Like, I was just so hardcore with everything. Like, I was brushing everything off my shoulders. I didn't care about anything. And it wasn't because of Job Corps, it's because I saw how free people were when they were speaking their mind, and nobody took advantage of them. Nobody took advantage of their niceness. And this is stuff that had happened to me before I got to Job Corps, because I was a nice person. And when I realized when you stand your ground, people are not going to walk over you. So I think I took mine a little too far.
I think the problem with Job Corps is nobody knows about Job Corps. And it just completely changed my life. Like, it just made me who I am. And, like, you know, it gave me a regiment. It gave me stability. And it gave me, like, a way to the future. And, like, every time I needed something, somebody would help me get it. And just, you know, out of all the students, like, they see who wants it, you know, like, and, like, I wanted it. And I just took that, like, grind and that dedication. And once I started there, I just not stopped. Now I own my own business. I do media. I have a job. You know, so, like, if it wasn't for Job Corps, like, I don't know where I'd be. Like, I love Job Corps. And, like, I hear people all the time bad mouthing Job Corps. I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, because, like, if you go in there and do what you're supposed to do, like, you could do it, man. I love Job Corps.
And I've been trying to fight that for years. Job Corps is not like jail. Job Corps is the first government job.
Yeah,
You
this
have
is like
a
it's an
literal,
employee. Yeah.
they give you an ID, a clothing allotment. I don't know who stayed on campus. I don't know who you travel, but they gave you a government ID. They gave you benefits. Back in my day, they gave us a clothing allotment. They fed us. They provided entertainment, sleep, and recreation. And people look at Job Corps like it's like Job Corps going to boot camp. And it's not. People need to tell them that is these youngins. People need to tell these youngins, oh, listen, this will be the best 2-3 years of your life.
For real.
That you do. And it will go by so fucking fast. And you will make lifelong friends. And you will come out with skills, knowledge, know-how, negotiation skills.
Pretty much kind of borderline homeless. So I didn't, have anywhere to go. So I went to Job Corps, and not realizing that it was going to be the best choice and decision of my life. And since then, I pretty much have been pretty successful in, everything that I've done. I worked for the Texas Comptroller's Office. I've worked in law enforcement. And currently I'm working for our local utility company and electric vehicles and emerging technologies. And I always look back on, my time at Gary Job Corps, and I'm just like, wow, that time at Gary Job Corps really allowed me to, figure out where and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my life. And like I said, I attribute so much and thank Gary Job Corps for kind of saving me in a time when I needed it the most. And I'll forever be so grateful to them for that.
Hey, everybody's talking, and I didn't even say it, because sometimes you don't want to like make it seem like, oh, you're more than this and that. But I went from nursing to selling mattresses, became an owner. I'm closing down my shop, but I've been in a business for 15 years. And I tell you what, I was blessed because I didn't even speak English. When my parents brought me from Mexico over here, I didn't speak not one word. And I don't even want to sound rude. My roommates one was black. The other one was white. I had a Native American in Roswell. And it was all these cultures that I love now, that I learned to accept. Not that I didn't back then. But, it's all about peace.
No,
Well,
I
and
feel the
also
same way
too,
you
we're
do,
all
because usually in the valley it was only a bunch
In the
of
valley, there ain't no
Mexicans.
black folks down,
Well,
I didn't
also
even know
too,
what
we
rap
all
was
we were
until
all
I
like, and I think too, we were all going through the same kind of similar struggles. So it's like, you know what, we ain't got no room to be judging nobody.
Yeah. Welcome to Let's Talk Job Corps. Tonight, we taking a trip down memory lane. Everybody got a story, so let's talk about it. Welcome to the show, come and tell your story. Job Corps days, all the pain and glory. Good times, hard times, friendships we made. Laughs and lessons that never faded. What was your trade? What was your plan? What did you dream of becoming as a man? When you graduated, where did you go? Are you still in your trade? We wanna know, from the classrooms to the skills we learned, through every challenge and every bridge we burned. Some found careers, some found their way, some found love that still lives today. There's somebody at Job Corps started something real, turned into forever, that's a story we feel. Different journeys, different roads we cross, but every experience shows us what we learned in life. Let's talk Job Corps. Tell us what you know. The memories, the stories, and the places that we go. Let's talk Job Corps. Come and join the conversation. Different lives, different stories, one shared experience. So sit back, relax, Bring your memories with you, whether it was the good, the bad, the funny, or the unforgettable. This is your story. Welcome to Let's Talk Job Corps.
I mean, all the way back from the beginning, though, being a student at Schreiber from February 6th, 2024 to February 7th, 2025. I graduated from security. I got my driver's license. I got my diploma through Penn Foster. But oh
Okay.
boy, Schreiber was a small center, but there was so much chaos. I mean, everything from little cat fights and dorm drama to alleged gang members on
Oh,
center.
you just taking me back. You taking me back, but go ahead.
And this is in Massachusetts. I mean, it's not like I've never heard of gang activity, but I mean, damn.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you because we had a little. I'm gonna call it a clique today, but back in the day we were a little gang type, and we had the dorm drama too. We had the first floor against the second floor. It was crazy. So I kind of feel you on all that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's just too much to talk about. Oh yeah, no worries. There was just a lot. It was generally a smaller center. A ton. I mean, between staff member turnover, like we had numerous people get fired, numerous people who quit, numerous people, staff and students, cursing
Right.
each other out every day. But I definitely have some favorite stories. I mean, I was dorm leader for 8 months out of the year that I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it was usually a reasonable group, but I mean, there was just
Yes, girl, it's okay because the stuff I did, matter of fact, I changed. Job Corps changed me to the worst instead of made me better. Because when I went there, I was just a goofball, but when I left, it was just like I wanted to fight everybody.
you know,
I was
that's the
just,
thing.
yeah,
And that's the thing I find very interesting because as somebody who has had very, very close loved ones and relatives and friends who have done time, and I see the way I am now after about 18 months total in the program, I see where the institutional mindset really, really sets in for a lot of people. And some people never let that go.
right,
And it's neither right or wrong if they do or don't. But I'm
right,
part of being in community living, being babysat as a grown adult for the most part, and just
yeah,
being the lack of freedom, the rules, and people expect you not to mess up anything. They think, negative infraction this, negative infraction that. There are people who I remember from my last center who had faced the board at least 2 or 3 times. I knew a guy in my Penn Foster class who had like 26 negative infractions and was still on center.
wow. Oh my gosh. We got Julie on here.
Yeah. Let me see what else. Oh yeah. I mean, being dorm leader wasn't even the half of it. It was mostly because of who my first roommate was.
Mhm.
They were getting terminated as well, unfortunately. I actually thought she was pretty cool. Now she went off to go to college shortly after, which good for her, absolutely. But that's how everybody ended up knowing my name. And boy, did I sure make one hell of a name for myself too. I've been graduated, or I originally enrolled almost 2 years ago. People still talk about me, people still know me, and there have been even more staff that left, quit, whatever. And it is just the most interesting thing to me because I actually keep in touch with a lot of those people now, typically staff.
Right. I was gonna say that I which was weird because my roommate and I, once I left, well, let me not say left, they did terminate me, and it was the weirdest day ever. But I ended up seeing my roommate like maybe 2 years later. We just happened to walk into the same building because, remind you, she was actually originally from, I want to say, Philly. I want to say she was originally, but some odd reason she ended up in the DMV area where I'm from. But she was coming off the elevator, and and we just looked at each other, just like screamed because we are like, oh my God, like, is it really you? Because we were roommates. Like, we was expecting to see each other in the same state. So it was so amazing. And, after I left there, I just took the memories with me because, I mean, I had a joyful time. But at the same time, I had a rough time because I was the one who was peeing for everybody because I didn't smoke at all. So when people didn't want to get terminated, they could never catch me in the act. So they were trying to like terminate me for other things. Hi, Constantine. Am I saying your name right? I think a lot of people are having difficulties. But go ahead, Julie. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. But yeah, so I had that experience. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me
hear
now?
me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you, man. It's my first time here, and I was gonna say I've always wanted to be called upon to tell my experience, and I'm hoping to hear some good stories as well.
Julie is telling hers right now. I was just kind of telling her a little bit about my information, but she's actually on board with hers right now. Then I'll let you join in with your story after her.
Of course. I definitely made a name for myself though. And after being there for some amount of time, now I wasn't per se really ever in trouble, but there was definitely some people who did not like me whatsoever. And if I told you I was not petty enough to understand the fine line between punishment and like how to ruin someone's day, I'd be absolutely lying to you.
Yes, yes. We all had them days.
Oh yeah, there were plenty of times where I walked by a few people's offices and something that couldn't warrant, active infraction, but they would sit there and be pissed off for the rest of the day.
Wow. Yes.
Well, because what do you
Yes.
do about it?
What happened?
Because what are they really gonna do about it? I mean, come on,
Exactly.
silly government Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm actually on center right now. I'm currently in Edison for HVAC.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Constantine, do you have a story? A Job Corps story?
Well, there's so many stories, but was more about success.
True.
Uh, I I went in there when I was 17. I
Okay.
was I was lost. I dropped out when I was 13 out of school. I didn't want nothing to do
Wow.
with school. But what changed was the fact that when I was 16, 17, the start, what I wanted to do was get a job. Everybody
Right.
wanted some kind of certificate.
Right.
So I enrolled into Job Corps because my friend had done it, and I'm from Texas, and he had joined one that was maybe about 3-4 hours from where we were living, and it was easy for him to come back and forth. If he
Oh,
would get in
okay.
trouble, he something would bad news from home, we would go and pick him up. So I end up in Guthrie, Oklahoma, but they didn't have what I wanted there. From there, I ended up in Roswell, New Mexico. And
Okay.
my experience there, I ain't gonna lie to you. And just like the lady that was talking earlier, I had bad experiences, but it outweighed the good experience that I have.
Right.
Uh, it was a different atmosphere than it was from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, come to find out that the atmosphere was like college. It was more laid back. The teachers, uh, were a little more, how would you say, more laid back than in high school. And I got my GED, I got my certificate as a CNA, uh, got my money paid. I don't even remember how much I got paid when I was there every week, every 2 weeks, or whatever, and then ended up getting a job as soon as I got out, and that was my start. But I've always told this to even people that I say on Facebook, the alumni, the Roswell Job Corps group chat, was
What?
that job turned me into a man because I was washing my own clothes, doing my own bed. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wasn't living with mom and dad no more. It 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 sort of like catapults you to being on your own, to starting your own life, and
Wow.
that was my story.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Actually, Nina, it's Olivia. I ended up logging in with my husband's account.
Oh
Okay.
my God, welcome, Olivia. You've been trying so hard. I'm glad you finally got in.
Yes, thank you for your patience and understanding and being so, thank for understanding that I'm being so persistent trying to get on because I love what you're
Yeah,
doing.
it's cool. I'm glad for it. I'm glad. But Constantine is he's telling his story. We're going to do each one of y'all one at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're just listening to Constantine. I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
No, that's fine. I'm almost at the end, but first of all, thank you for the show. I'm
You're
glad you're
welcome.
out there. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm hoping that other people will hear the success, the not success. Try to find a way to navigate the system.
Yeah. Welcome,
To
Alex.
What's up? What's up,
Hello.
man? Job Corps in the building. How y'all doing?
How many Job Corps locations do we have online?
Mine was in actually Charleston, West Virginia.
Okay.
Uh, I'm San Marcos.
I went to Gaston, Alabama.
Okay, that's awesome.
Roswell, New Mexico.
We're here from Shriver, but I'm currently in Edison.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
Mhm.
Hey guys.
What's
Hey.
up?
But yeah, we're gonna take our time to do each story. We got plenty of time. There's no time limit tonight. Olivia, are you ready to share your story?
Sure. Yes, I went to Gary Job Corps back in 2001 and left about 2002. But it was I did things a little different because I didn't actually graduate a trade. They didn't have the trade that I needed or that I was looking for. So I
And what
kind of
you
jumped.
want?
I was trying to go with the nursing. But they
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
have that available. They only had weld. So I ended up taking a welding class, print shop, and
You didn't try to
culinary.
transfer?
I tried, so I ended up transferring to welding, culinary art, and print shop. They never.
No. To another school.
Oh, no, because I'm from Texas, and I was only about 30 minutes, 45 minutes from my hometown, so it was easy.
Yeah.
So basically, I actually didn't even, I don't think I even graduated with the trade. What I ended up doing was taking advantage of Gary Jobs Corps college preparation program and entering their project
Nice.
course. Yes. Yeah. So I did that for a few years. Unfortunately, circumstances, I wasn't able to, graduate, but ultimately I still, praise Gary Job Corps because it basically, helped me during a very, difficult time in my life, pretty much kind of borderline homeless. So I didn't, have anywhere to go. So I went to Job Corps and not realizing that it was going to be the best choice and decision of my life. And since then, I pretty much have been pretty successful in, everything that I've done. I worked for the Texas Comptroller's Office. I've worked in law enforcement, and currently I'm working for our local utility company, and electric vehicles and emerging technologies. And I always look back on, my time at Gary Job Corps, and I'm just like, wow, that time at Gary Job Corps really allowed me to figure out where and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my life. And like I said, I attribute so much and thank Gary Job Corps for kind of saving me in a time when I needed it the most, and I'll forever be so grateful to them for that.
From homeless, amen.
Yeah,
That's
and now,
awesome.
from homeless
That's
to
a great
living a
testimony.
good life now. Now I have a good life. I have a good job. I mean, I make great
Praise
money.
Jesus.
Everything is. I mean, and I attribute all that from my time at Gary Job Corps learning, because they taught me so much about early adult life and adulthood and
Mhm.
time management and how to kind of any of y'all remember when they used to talk about the time frame of like your life is, let's say you live 50 years, that the 1 year in Job Corps is nothing compared to the rest of your life. but
Yes.
but it changes everything. I'm hoping that I run into a few of my former classmates, because you wonder whatever happened to it, whatever happened. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
Try
So
to
Ren
do it.
and I think your name. One of you guys.
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
Hi,
welcome.
everyone.
Great, thank
Thanks
you.
for letting me be a part of the group or to chat. But yeah, my name is Loranda. Um, I was a student at Job Corps in Oklahoma in Tahlequah. So the Job Corps is Talking Leaves. So I was there in 1998 to 2000. But
Okay.
yeah, I got my certificates in the secretarial positions, and it really helped me, especially at the time when I was very young. I had a real strong background from a Native American student, living in a reservation, and it was very new to me. Getting on a plane for the first time and just experiencing that, I was very scared because I never left the reservation, and just going there and getting to experience that was a whole different aspect of the world. So today, I am a mom now. I have my own children. I'm married and working on my master's degree, and I'll be getting it next semester. I'll be receiving it, and right now I'm just working on my information, like references to get a cohort for my doctorate degree. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But yeah,
Wow.
it helped me to be the person I am today. I know that I started my education late, but just starting there at a very young age, and they helped me get my GED, and that was my start.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Alex, be
All right.
quiet.
No, I'm just listening. Well,
I got you.
my story is like, all right, I dropped out of high school. I was smoking weed all the time. I was a bum. And I met this dude, and he was like, "Man, you ever heard of Job Corps?" And I was like, "No, I never heard of it." And he goes, "Basically, they help you get your high school diploma, you get a trade." So I just had an epiphany one day at work. I was busting tables. I was poor. I didn't have, and I was like, "Man, I need to make a decision." So I went up to the place. I signed up, and I ended up going to Gadsden, and it like completely, like you guys said, like it changed. I love Job Corps. Like I went in there, and I have a residential advisor named Mr. Hill, man, rest in peace. And like he was like a father to the fatherless. Like, man, he would make me every day. I would go in there and he'd be like, "Boz, did you studying for your GED?" And I'd be like, "Nah." He'd be like, "Get your books and come in here right now." And I'd just be in there, and he would help me study. And like, man, I just locked in, and I just kept studying and studying. I passed my GED. I did information technology. To me personally, it was a waste of time. But like, I got my GED. I ended up making all kind of friends. Mr. Hill made me graduate, and then I ended up joining the Coast Guard. I was in the Coast Guard for like reserves for 8 years. Did Deepwater Horizon, traveled all over the place. And after I finished the Coast Guard, I got a job at a chemical plant in my area. And like this, my life is like, I'm not rich by any, but my life is great. And it all is like, it's all because of Job Corps. Like the people I met, the people that like, they saw something in me I didn't see in myself. And like, man, it changed my whole life. Like now, I have a wife, I have a beautiful home, I have a good job. And like, I always tell everybody, like, I do this today. Like, there's some young dudes at my job, and I'm like, listen to me. Your life sucks. No offense. Like your parents are on drugs and they drink. Like, you should just go to Job Corps. And like, like people they don't know about it. I think the problem with Job Corps is nobody knows about Job Corps. And it just completely changed my life. Like it just made me who I am, and like it gave me a regiment, it gave me stability, and it gave me like a way to the future. And like every time I needed something, somebody would help me get it. And just out of all the students, like they see who wants it, like, and like I wanted it. And I just took that, like I took that like grind and that dedication, and I just once I started there, I just not stopped. Now I own my own business, I do media, I have a job, so like if it wasn't for Job Corps, like I don't know where I'd be. Like I love Job Corps. Like I hear people all the time bad mouthing Job Corps. I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, because like if you go in there and do what you're supposed to do, like you could do it, man. I love Job Corps. I promote Job Corps every single day too, like because I know so many kids just like me, parents might be on drugs or they don't have anything going for them. I'm like, you don't have anything going, bro. You could just go to Job Corps.
What'd you say, Olivia? Sorry.
Yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, no, I always
right.
preach. I love Job Corps too, and I tell everybody to like go to Job Corps. And as a matter of fact, I ended up referring Job Corps to my brother, and he ended up going, getting his trade, and he actually met his wife there also, and they got married. They have a family now, and he actually started his own business also. So yeah, like you said, I sometimes I wonder how people say they had a bad experience at Job Corps because I was like, I just don't see it.
I just want everybody to introduce their stories first.
Hello, everybody. My name- Yeah, she called me Les. It's Les, and I call her Cheeks. I arrived in Charleston, West Virginia in April of 1997. I lived in West Virginia for 3 years. My story is a little different. I already came to Job Corps with my diploma. I had an apartment, I had a car, but I tried to escape the violence. I wanted to go see other parts of the world. So
Awesome.
it was either that or the military. And I found Job Corps, a Job Corps recruiter. I asked her what's the furthest she can send me. I
Yeah.
asked her what's the furthest. Yeah, I asked her what's the
Yeah.
furthest, and I only had a mid-Atlantic region recruiter. So she was like, all I could do is send you to Baltimore, which is too close to DC, which is where I live. I don't know where you all are, respectively. I'm sorry. But I'm in DC. Baltimore was right down the street. Uh, West Virginia and I think Kentucky, but I chose West Virginia. I had never, West Virginia would have been the furthest I had ever been away from the place I was born in my life. So my Job Corps experience was pretty easy. I came in, I didn't have, I passed the drug test. Not to say that I was clean at the time. We had a drug counselor, and I was dirty the first time. I was dirty. I was riding a Greyhound bus. You been there? Y'all been there? Anybody been on the Greyhound?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was on the Greyhound bus. We had a few stops. So yeah, I did my do. And when I got there, I failed. Then they gave me 30 days to sweat it out. And I recruited new students because I didn't have to go through a GED class. I was waiting for my class to start, which was at West Virginia State University. So I had to wait for spring to start. So I was there for a couple of months, and I went for graphic arts, advertising and design. I heard two of you guys talking about businesses. I started a business, but I had to take a trade while I was there.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us.
doing?
no.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear y'all.
Everybody just telling their stories about how they got their experience and what they accomplished from Job Corps right now.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have freestyle talking after that. So
Okay.
well, Leslie was on.
Oh,
I'm not trying to rush none of you. I just want everybody to get their stories in. I know we got a lot of stories to tell. Just want an
very well,
introduction for everybody.
yeah, and I love the energy you got here. We're gonna have to have a call sign like your state and year that you attended Job Corps. You're gonna have that.
Yeah, it said we should have a group chat.
Well, I'm saying, by the way, y'all.
We had a lot of trauma that we shared. We witnessed the same events at the same time. You and I, Cheeks, and
Okay.
Job Corps. I made a lifelong friends, and I have skills that I still utilize today. And the reason I was going to jump in was to say that people refer to Job Corps as this is almost like jail, and I've been trying to fight that for years. Job Corps is not like jail. Job Corps is the first government job.
Yeah,
You
basically
have
like
a
it's an employee.
literal,
Yeah.
yeah, they give you an ID, a clothing allotment. I don't know who stayed on
Yeah.
campus. I don't know who you travel, but they gave you a government ID. They gave you benefits. Back in my day, they gave us a clothing allotment. They fed us. They provided entertainment, sleep,
Mm.
and recreation. And people look at Job Corps like it's like Job Corps going to boot camp, and it's not. People need to tell them these youngins. People need to tell these youngins. Oh, listen, know how negotiation skills. You already know. A lot of us were selling cigarettes, selling weed, selling noodles.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah, and I had a I had a locker full of little Debbie. Boy, you couldn't tell me
Stop
nothing.
In
playing.
real life. In real life.
Stop
Yep,
playing.
that's how I learned how to make instant noodles in the microwave.
I'm right there. Payday. I'm right there on payday. I got a long list of papers.
No.
Everybody name
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, that's how it was in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gold phase, so it wasn't really nothing. I was almost an employee when I came.
Angie.
But so that's my story. I am happy to meet you all. Thank you for sharing your time. I'm sorry I missed the earlier stories, but I'm Liz.
Thank you
All
for
right.
doing it. Okay, Tay, you up.
All right, y'all. I'm Tay. I'm originally from Georgia, and I went to
Oh.
2 job courses. But yeah, I went to 2 job courses. I went to Turner Job Corp in Georgia, and then I went to Earl C. Clements. And there I had at Turner I had got my business administration, and then when I got to Earl C, I went and got my culinary and my CNA license. But baby, when I tell y'all, it was not easy because when I signed up first, they was trying to tell me I couldn't go, and I'm like, why? Like, what in the world? We started like they was like, oh yeah, we got these numbers, we got to meet, yada yada yada. So before that, y'all, I had got kicked out. I completed my first job course. It was some stuff going on in my family, and I just had it, right? And so, I was on a get it how you live, grind mode type mindset. And I used to always work on an ABC method. If this plan didn't work, then I had this plan. And sometimes none of my plans work, y'all. I was like, oh my Lord, I don't know what to do. But when I signed up to my second one, I got kicked out the house. I was living below the post or whatever. I made it do what it do. I was going to school at the time, yada, yada, yada. And so I made up my mind to go to Job Corps the second time. So when I tried to sign up the second time, they gave me hell about signing up. They was trying to make me go to Brunswick, or they was trying to make me go to the Atlanta Job Corps. And what's even crazy about that, the Atlanta Job Corps wound up closing down when I got to Earl C. So they had shipped some of them to different job corps centers. So like all of that was like crazy. So I knew then, I'm like, y'all got to send me to Earl C. I even called district. I called the head. I called everybody. I called the center director at Earl C. I'm like, hey man, these people saying I can't come. And he was like, what? He said, we just accepted some people from Georgia last week. I'm like, oh yeah, bet. Man, I called Turner. I'm like, why y'all playing? The man said, okay, we're gonna let you go this time. Yeah, I had to fight for that. Like they was just I'm like, wow, I thought that was just so weird, but I fought for that. And then when I got to Earl C, I received some trades. I wound up getting the job. I had started doing work based and all that. And I had wound up getting 2 jobs. Like I was like the last person to sign to pass my CNA classes because like for like months I kept failing. Like dead ass, like for months I kept failing. It's on that 3rd time I finally passed it, y'all. I was so freaking happy. I was crying and everything. I was at work crying. I'm like, dang. And so she was like, come to my office, come to my office. You feel me? And she gave me red uniforms and all that. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a job. She was actually the DON at the nursing home. Like, bro, like I had 2 jobs at Job Corp, and that's how I saved up money. Job Corp helped me got an apartment. So when I started my YouTube video, I wasn't even at Job Corp yet. Like I was in the trenches. I was going through it. I was in the streets. I was doing this. I was doing that. And I was sitting on my cousin's back porch just talking about my experience at Job Corp, and my shit blew up. So yeah, like that's how it went. So yeah.
Success.
Yeah, hell
Sorry.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know what years you all attended. Did y'all have blue juice? Is blue juice a staple with Job Corps?
What you mean, blue juice?
Yeah, I'm about to ask that.
You don't remember blue juice at lunchtime, breakfast, dinner from the juice machine?
You talk about that
No.
sweet ass syrup they gave us every day.
They
Yeah, I remember all of that.
they said it made people crazy. Y'all didn't have blue juice?
No, I don't remember.
Remember
But I
that.
don't think I drunk that.
We had
Mhm.
orange juice, milk, and I can't remember what the other one was.
I remember it just being a full blown buffet.
It's Kool-Aid. It was just red Kool-Aid, orange juice, and milk.
I think so.
I think I did have the red juice. I did
Yeah.
have that. I can't remember.
Hello.
But we freestyling it now. So if you guys got some freestyling stories, we can do it now. Take your
Like,
time.
like the other chick was saying, like how her brother went and got married. My best friend was staying at my house. He got kicked out of his house and he was staying with my parents. And he was doing his thing, doing drugs and whatever. My dad went in there and he goes, if you don't go to Job Corps with Alex, you get kicked out of this house. So he ended up going to Job Corps with me. He met his wife. They ended up having kids and the whole thing. And it was just because of Job Corps, because he was out in the streets wilding out. And my dad was like, "Hey, bro, if you don't go to Job Corps with Alex, you're getting out of this house." He's like, "You go sign up right now, or you're getting out." He went and signed up, and now he's got a family and kids, all because of Job Corps. Because he was doing the same thing. He was wilding out.
Yep, my brother's been married now, I think, for maybe 25 years, and he's still married and counting.
Do y'all
Guys,
think that people could really be successful after job course, like with marriage and stuff like that?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
absolutely.
yes, yes. We know a few. Do y'all know anybody y'all who are looking for their baby mothers and fathers? And
And
do y'all know any children who are looking for their mothers or fathers?
no, no.
No.
Well, when I went to Gary Job Corps, I actually went because I was, kind of homeless, living on my friend's couch. I had no prosperity, nothing. So when I went over there, I was like, "Look, I don't really have anything to offer. I'm there for business." And I went over there with the mentality of like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get my trade, get in and out as quickly as I can. But of course, my trade approach didn't work, so I ended up joining their college preparation program and going to college instead. But even with that being said, like I said, I went there with like, I'm not here to make friends. If I make friends, great, but I don't want anybody to influence me, in the negative.
True.
So yeah. But like I said, that was just me, my perspective. My brother went with a different approach, and like I said, he met his wife there. So, and
Yeah.
he's a successful business owner himself too now. So
Wow.
Oh, right,
Yeah, that's
right.
interesting because I went there to get my GED because, of course, I was the typical bad teenager. I wasn't bad, but I was just doing a lot of unnecessary stuff that got me sent to Job Corps. And then that didn't work out because I ended up getting terminated from Job Corps. So but I accomplished a lot from that, just learning from that because when I was at Job Corps, I was known as Cheeks. Everybody called me that because I have fat cheeks. When I was there, I was the one that actually peed for everybody because I didn't smoke at all. So I kept everybody from getting terminated, but I ended up getting terminated myself. So
but
Hey, the crazy part about that, you said you got terminated, right? So when
yeah,
I went to LC, I got terminated as well, even though I completed my trade. Ain't that crazy?
right. But I was able to complete my trade. I just didn't get my GED.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
kind
when I
of
got
like
terminated, it was for let me say this. It was a security guy there, but he was on me. He found out that's what I was doing, was peeing for everybody. So they couldn't prove it. They was trying to catch me in the act, but they could never do that. So they was trying to get me for anything else that I would do wrong. And so I think when I got in that one fight, because they had my bags packed so fast and put me on a Greyhound so fast. I was like,
fight?
huh?
Who did you fight?
Nobody really liked her. I don't know. I can't remember the story,
Nah,
but
we're
she
gonna
wasn't
talk
well
about this
liked,
off air.
and
We're
she
gonna
was
talk about
after
this off
me
air.
because she was after a roommate. I can't think of her name though.
uh
When Angie get
I
back
didn't know.
on,
I
she
didn't
probably
know.
can
But
tell you better than me, Leslie, because I can't remember her name. You got to think I'm 48 now,
okay,
so I can't think back that
I'm
far.
sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Wait
I
a
didn't
minute,
know.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You 48? I would have
Yes,
never
ma'am.
thought that.
Yes, ma'am. 48. So I'm after all of that, going through all of that, I came out to be a teacher. I've been a teacher for 35 years. I went back to school in 2004 and got my high school diploma. I went back to regular school. I did night school. So only thing I got from Job Corps was a culinary certificate. And but my great experience there were meeting different people and learning different things. I learned how to do the percolator there, and I still percolate to this day. Like I do not let that dance go. Like it's like my favorite dance. So that's like something that's gonna stay with me. But all the fun times were great, and I still
Did
talk
anybody,
to like half the people I met there. So yeah,
oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead, Leslie.
Did anybody here the experience any go-go music in Job Corps during Job Corps?
Anyone?
What?
He got. They're not from the DMV. You know that go-go don't leave the DMV. He's saying go-go music like
During the
EU, Sugar Bear, and all of
okay.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't leave the
No,
DMV.
Yeah,
I
they
was
no,
from
just
different
curious.
areas.
no. We were on Gangsta Brazils when I was there.
Oh, Wizzo.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, Nina, when
Yeah.
you said you kept in touch, did you keep in touch after, social media, you reconnected with them, or you just kept in touch
Um,
after? Because I know
that's a
with
good
me and my
question.
friends, you just one day they were just gone.
Right. But you know what was funny? Because I'm from the DMV area. And many of them that came, two friends that actually came to Job Corps where I was, we already had went to the same school from the same area. So we was going to eventually see each other again. But the funny story is one of my Job Corps friends I was expected not to see ever again because she was supposed to be living in New York. And some odd reason she was my neighbor like a year
Oh,
later in the same neighborhood. And I was like, why are you here? Like,
you stalking me?
right. So like, wait, we weren't even supposed to see each other again. But yeah, it happened just that way. And we became
Wow.
friends. We was hanging out a lot, from then on.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I didn't keep in touch with anybody, and I hope to find them on Facebook, but I never come across them. But then again, I don't remember their names either, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to see their faces. But
If you go on
but
if you go on Facebook, there's a lot of like Job Corps groups specific for the city, like the one again. There's
Yeah.
a Job
yeah,
Corps. If you go on Facebook and just looking for like your center, there's usually like a Facebook group for that center.
yeah, I've looked at that, but
So
every time I do that, because it's under San Marcos, I still see a lot of just people, everybody just kind of scattered. Everybody moved to other states, so it's just kind of trickling in from all over the place. It doesn't seem like there's just specifically for San Marcos anymore, but yeah, I had a great time. Like I said, we would stay out late. I mean, to the wee hours of the morning, just hanging out and just having so much fun.
Corps Part 1. Thank you for joining us for Part 1 of Let's Talk Job Corps. Stay tuned for Part 2 as we continue the conversation, share more stories, and explore more Job Corps experiences.